Luka Dončić, known for his exceptional playmaking, scoring ability, and basketball IQ, has quickly become one of the league's brightest stars. Today, let's dive into his playoff performances over the years, highlighting his growth, skills, and areas for improvement. Let's explore how Luka has evolved and what he needs to work on to become an even more dominant force and get his first NBA championship in the near future. In his first playoff appearance in the 2019-20 season, Luka Dončić made an immediate impact as a second-year player. The Mavericks faced the Los Angeles Clippers, led by Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, one of the best forward combinations in the league, in the first round. Despite losing the series in 6 games, Luka averaged 31 points, 9.8 rebounds, and 8.7 assists per game. His usage rate was 36.5% and his BPM was 7.9. His memorable buzzer beater against the Clippers in Game 4 was a testament to his clutch gene and showcased his ability to perform under pressure. During these playoffs, he had already mastered the pick and roll, but it was his quickness and arm movements that truly set him apart in most offensive positions. His crossover was lightning fast, leaving even guards struggling to keep up with his speed. However, his initial burst wasn't quite at LeBron's level. Despite this, he showed no fear of contact under the basket, although he didn't really rely heavily on his physicality. Luka continued his stellar performance in the 2020-21 playoffs, averaging 35.7 points, 7.9 rebounds, and 10.3 assists per game. His usage rate of 39.1% increased about 3% compared to last season, indicating his central role in the Mavericks offense, and his turnovers slightly decreased to 4.6 per game compared to 5.2 with last season's playoff series. His BPM was 11.8 compared to Giannis, the final MVP that season, who had a BPM of 9.0, reflecting Luka's significant impact on the court. The Mavericks again faced the Clippers and took the series to 7 games, but ultimately fell short. Facing one of the hottest teams in the playoffs twice in the first round was unfortunate for Luka at his earlier career stage, although that deal does not exist at the Clippers anymore. However, those experiences were vital for his development. During these playoffs, the Clippers started to double-team Luka in certain positions. To put this into perspective, the Clippers forwards lineup featured Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Nicholas Batum, and Marcus Morris. Despite this increased defensive pressure, Luka's turnover slightly decreased from 5.2 to 4.6. In the 2021-22 season, Luka's offensive prowess remained evident as he averaged 31.7 points, 9.8 rebounds, and 6.4 assists per game. His usage rate was 38.6% and his BPM was 9.3. His defensive metrics also improved, with a DBPM of 2.5 compared to 1.0 in the 2019-20 playoffs and 1.8 in the 2020-21 playoffs. Despite his individual brilliance, the Mavericks struggled to advance, losing to the Golden State Warriors in the conference final. Luka's leadership and ability to take over game were on full display, but the team needs better overall support. The starting lineup at that point was Luka, Jalen Brunson, Reggie Bullock, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Dwight Powell. That was quite an achievement for Luka and Brunson to advance this roster into the Western Conference Finals at that season. In the 2023-24 season, Luka averaged 29.8 points, 9.5 rebounds, and 8.1 assists per game in the playoffs. His OBPM was 5.1, which wasn't as impressive as the previous 2 seasons, but it was noting he played 22 games compared to 7 and 15, making this decline understandable. However, his turnovers remained an issue, averaging 4.1 per game. His three-point shooting also dropped to 32.2%. Despite these challenges, the Mavericks advanced to the NBA Finals, but lost to Boston in 5 games. Luka's knee injury notably impacted his performance, particularly from beyond the arc. During the regular season, he shot 38.2% from 3, up from his career average of around 35%, and achieved a career-high true shooting percentage of 61.7%. Unlike earlier in his career, Luka relied more on his strength and body to create shooting space during these playoffs. His speed, especially his lateral movement, seems to decline, likely due to the strain on his knees, and because of this, his dribble penetration attempts dropped as well, although that may have been caused by the opponent's defensive tactics, so he had to shoot more threes with a three-point attempt rate of 45%. The best shooter on the planet, Stephen Curry, had a 52% three-point attempt rate during the 2021-22 championship playoff season. Stephen had way more catch-and-shoot opportunities than Luka. Nonetheless, Luka's rhythm still allowed him to outmaneuver big men like Rudy Gobert. Luka's offensive arsenal includes a variety of moves. His signature step-back 3 has a success rate of 34.5% and a usage of 19%. The catch-and-shoot 3 has improved to 38.6%, used 10% of the time, most being clock-expired shots. His step-back mid-range shot is effective at 46.3% with a usage of 14%. Dribble penetration, highly effective for scoring and assists, is used 30% of the time. Luka initiates pick-and-roll plays 42% of the time, with a success rate of 50.2%. Luka's defensive metrics has shown improvement over the years. His DBPM has increased, reflecting his growing defensive impact. He has also become more adept at contesting shots and improving his defensive position, although he may still not be a good defender from any perspective. Comparing Luka's earlier playoff performance to one of the greatest basketball players, LeBron James, during his 2005-06 season, we see some intriguing similarities. In LeBron's first playoff appearance, he averaged 30.8 points, 8.1 rebounds, and 5.8 assists per game, with a usage rate of 33.9%. His OBPM was 8.1, while his DBPM was 1.5. Despite the different eras and styles of play, both players showed incredible versatility and leadership from a young age. Luka's ability to score, rebound, and facilitate mirrors LeBron's earlier impact, indicating a bright future for the Mavericks star. Luka's OBPM was even higher than LeBron's at that time, though LeBron had a higher DBPM due to his unparalleled athleticism. Luka has demonstrated leadership by taking over games in crucial moments, setting the tone for his team, and mentoring young players. Both Derek Lively II and Daniel Gafford has benefited from Luka's playmaking, especially offensively. His ability to perform under pressure has earned him respect across the league. One of the biggest challenges for a player transition from star to superstar is handling double teams. Anthony Edwards experienced this in the second round and struggled, which is understandable given that it was only his second playoff journey. However, during the 2021 playoffs, which was Luka's second playoff journey, he handled double team exceptionally well, benefiting from his earlier career experience in Europe. This didn't bother him much and showcased his advanced skill set. Looking ahead, Luka needs to improve his defense by working on his lateral quickness and overall defense. During this playoff run, he faced criticism for his defensive efforts, as players like James Harden and the various Boston Celtics exploit one-on-one matchup against him. His slower lateral movement, possibly due to weight gain, has become a concern, and is probably the cause of his knee issue during this playoff. Most importantly, he loses attention on off-ball defense, making it too easy for opponents to back up in front of him. If his athleticism does not allow him to be a top on-ball defender, that's fine, but at least he needs to be an average defender with off-ball defending. Luka might need to focus on fitness and conditioning during this off-season to maintain agility and endurance. Better offensive selection is another area he can improve, as Luka sometimes relies too heavily on difficult step-back threes. His true shooting percentage decreased every playoff season from 59.6% to 51.6%, especially this playoff. His three-point percentage was 32%. Involving his teammates more can ease the load on his shoulder and preserve his energy for clutch moments. Turnover control is vital, as his turnover has remained about the same over the years, averaging 4 turnovers per game. Minimizing complaints to officials will help maintain team morale and focus. His teammates and coach has already emphasized that arguing with referees does not help and leave the teams vulnerable with one player out of position. Luka Dončić's journey has been remarkable, and his growth as a player is evident. However, there are areas of improvement that can elevate his game even further. What do you think? Can Luka lead the Mavericks to greater heights in the upcoming seasons? Share your thoughts in the comments below. The Mavericks have already made some adjustment to their roster. What do you think? Is that better for this position? What follow-up trade do you think Mavericks are going to make? Thanks for watching.